So when, if we can get a quorum to elect the board. So far, it looks to me like we're doing pretty good tonight. Let me explain the process to you, what we're going to be doing tonight. First of all, everybody's got to sign in, verify the proxies, then we'll announce if there's a quorum. At which point, if the quorum is established, then the first order of business is for you to elect a chairman or a person to run the meeting, to run the election. I understand there's 10 or 12 intent to run for the board. If anybody else wants to run for the board, they can sign an intent to run, and there will be 7 positions elected. So it looks to me right now there will be a contested election, and you'll get the opportunity to vote. Now, your bylaws are a little bit unique in that you can only vote if you're here in person. So if you had 4 proxies plus yourself, you can't use those 4 proxies to vote for the board of directors. You vote in person. And there'll be ballots that you can fill out. The candidates will be listed here once we know who they are. And then you will fill out the only 7 of those listed. And only 7. If you do more than that, you have an invalid ballot. So you want to keep it at 7 of your choices for the board of directors. Now, assuming we have our quorum and you elect the board, and again, the election meeting will be run by a chairman that you're going to elect. Once that occurs, then I will be writing a report to Judge Brunson explaining that if we had a quorum, we had an election, we've elected a board, here are the board members. I will then, with Mr. Rossin, will file a motion with the court to discharge me from my duties and to turn over the functions of the association to the new board of directors. That's a process that will take a motion and a hearing. It will take a couple weeks to get that done. But once that's done, then if you have a new board elected, that new board will then take over. In the meantime, the new board is like a president-elect or a board-elect. They're not officially in power, but they certainly could hold workshop meetings and things that to get oriented, basically figure out who their officers might be, and be ready and on track, ready to roll as soon as Judge Brunson enters the final order discharging me from my duties. So that's how the process will take. Now, if there's a challenge, and any one of 524 unit owners can challenge, I don't think there will be, and I don't think Judge Brunson would probably grant it if there was, but there's always wrinkles in a court proceeding. But I can tell you that we will file the motion and ask the court to turn it over to a new board of directors, one that is elected tonight. And that's how the process is going to run. So as soon as we know if we have a quorum, let me know, and we will announce whether we have a quorum, and at which point we're going to elect a chairman to run your election. So wait a few minutes and we'll see what happens. We're a little short. We need 138 for a quorum. And what do we have?
Last count was 131.
131. Has everybody turned in their proxies?
No. Did everybody sign in?
Everybody sign in?
Wait a minute.
Well, you may not have had a proxy. Some people brought proxies and you certify them at the table.
Somebody else.
Yes. A lot of people just come themselves and they have one vote. Okay, what we're going to do is, and this is what we did in the last meeting. You all have a voting card. Did you get a voting card that's got a number on it?
Yeah.
We're going to do, this is our backup count. We're going to go through and we're going to count the numbers on every one of those cards to see if it's really 131 or maybe if there's a mistake, like we did last time. So if you need some help, get some people here. We're going to go through, we're going to count every one of those voting cards. You got a card? Are you a unit owner? Yes. You better get a card.
We'll get a card, man. Everybody get a card.
You need just a few more.
My next big What do you got back there?
One.
You gotta do it right. We're only a few short. Come on.
One. Put him down. 2, 1, 5. 1, 1. You would be at 1,
No, because you gotta hold on to your own. Okay, tally them up. That's why we do these voting cards. It's our safety check. Kind of like,
Didn't miss anybody, right there?
ma'am, I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Those off the count that we needed 30%.
Yeah, so we're about 65. I suspended the voting rights and lowered the quorum requirements down to 138.
For tonight,
Yes.
was there a difference in people in arrears?
No, the same 65 are still in arrears.
Okay, all right, I just
So-
want to make sure that.
So it's 138. That's the magic number. Yes, ma'am.
A quick question. If an owner who at the last meeting had proxies that were counted and are valid, but he or she is not here tonight, those proxies are still valid, correct?
No, they're not. The proxy is no good without the proxy holder present at the meeting.
I was under the understanding
Send
that
them in.
no, they already,
You gotta be a proxy holder here. The proxy is valid as long as the proxy holder shows up again. He doesn't have to go retrieve the same proxy.
I was told that the proxy holder, if they were not here, of course, nobody, not them nor their proxies, could vote for the board, elect a board. But their votes are, their proxy is good for 90
No,
days.
the law is very clear, and I put that, when I sent out the notice, put all the rules about how we're going to do it,
Sir,
very clearly
I
said
went
that
to
you have to be here.
I went to 3 different attorneys, sir, and I
You know.
gave them our documents to read, and they all said that according to our documents, those proxies are good for 90 days, whether they're here again tonight or not.
No, they are good for 90 days that they're there.
Because they were valid and accepted 2 months ago.
I'm sorry, but we've got our own legal counsel here. I'm a lawyer myself, and we researched it very closely, and I very clearly pointed out in the rules when I sent out the notice, this is how we're going to count. How we're going to count the proxies, how we're going to count the quorum. It's 138. And by the way, you know, I've done everything in the law I can make it easier by suspending those voting rights, which the statute allowed me to do at the discretion of the custodian. I did, and it's making it easier. But I can't make it easier and violate the law. I can't do that.
Can I ask you a question? For 3 years, that we had no board or one person on the board, wasn't that illegal according to the law?
Well,
That's a yes or no question.
well, it's not from my standpoint. In terms of,
Yours.
I don't want to cast any aspersions on that. That's not my job under Judge Brunson's order. She says, Mr. Tennyson, you're to come in here, run the association until they get a valid quorum and elect a board.
That's correct, but 3 years before you, there was only one person where the law requires 3 people. Otherwise, you should have been in here 3 years ago.
Well, maybe so, but I'm trying to solve a problem tonight of 138, okay? I can't go backwards right now.
And I've got a copy of what the judge's order is to you, and it also states in that order that you can't disobey our bylaws, yet you do it every day.
Well, that's not true, but I know that's your opinion, Mr. Rocco.
I hope someday we prove it is.
You raised our payments more than 15%, that's in our
That's
bylaws.
one issue. And there's going to be several more in the court.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to see if we have a quorum. And we're counting.
135.
135.
No recount, we probably should recount again.
Well, you're still short. That's the problem. Just a minute, everybody. Joyce, is that your final count on the cards?
I counted it twice, Melissa counted it twice.
Can you collect the card?
And you're at 135 and 132 on the other one.
People waving the cards.
So we're still short 3.
Need to go up.
I think we found, somebody failed to sign in for their proxy holders, and that was 3, so that's the difference.
Oh,
First of
so
all,
we're now at 135.
Yeah.
what's happening is if you brought
No,
proxies in from the
3 is
last
the
time,
135 included.
and the last meeting, if you brought proxies in, you have to tell her that you brought those in, and they are counted. Right now, anything that you brought at the last meeting is not being counted.
That's what she was just asking. It says it's allowance.
If you were here for the last meeting, you should check to make sure your proxies are counted. You know where the courthouse is?
I sure do.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to stress this again. If you were here at the meeting in January and you brought proxies, okay, at that meeting, and you're here again tonight, you need to make sure that you're getting your proxies counted. If a proxy is not counted unless the proxy holder is here to vote it. That's the rule. But if you were here last time and you're here tonight, you still got your proxies from January. Make sure they're counted. Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm just trying to explain it. Go fix it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we only gained one more vote. We're still at 136. 136. Now, you may think this is technical, but, you know, I'm the guy that has to go before the judge and certify a quorum. So I'm not going to go lie to my judge. Okay? Well, you know, you have to count at 7 o'clock. He's here at 7 o'clock. Yes.
Collect the cards, then count them that way rather than going around the
I'll do that, but let me tell you, here's the last thing I'm going to do. You turn your cards in, we'll count them again. But if we're still 136, I'm going to have to adjourn the meeting. Okay? Everybody, let's turn your cards in at the table. Your voting cards. We're going to do one last count. 31 on the cards. But I think maybe somebody, because we got 134 on the list, 131 on the cards. We're still short at least 4, maybe 7.
Some of the people left. They might have taken their cards with them.
That could be. I'm going with a higher number, the 134. I'm still short. Look, we've tried this several times now. We're still short. I'm going to have to adjourn the meeting. I'm not sure where we go from here. I may go back and seek some judgment, some direction from Judge Brunson. I'll sit down with our General Counsel, Allen Rossin, and see where we go from here. I'm disappointed too. I thought for sure we had a quorum tonight, but we didn't. But that's all we can do is but adjourn the meeting right now.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah, why don't you come out here?
Go ask